डायनामिक्स? डायनामिक्स का इंट्रोडक्शन मैंने आपको रिवीजन लेक्चर के अंदर दिया था. व्हाट इज डायनामिक्स, अयान? How do we define a motion in terms of dynamics? अयान को मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही है और he does not want to answer my question.
The study of bodies, motion, change.
But answer my first question first. Why do you reply so late?
I was sleeping.
Sorry?
I
You
was
were
sleeping.
sleeping?
No, I was thinking.
Oh, okay. What is dynamics?
Dynamics is the study of bodies in motion and change in that motion.
Sorry?
Dynamics is the study of bodies in motion and changes in that motion.
Anyone else who wants to add to this?
Like mass, energy, and momentum.
But there was one significant change between kinematics and dynamics. What was that?
Dynamics, it
Discusses the
examines
motion with respect to force.
I think it's the relationship between force and motion.
Yes, it discusses the relationship between force and motion, because in the previous section we discussed motion, but we did not refer it to the force application. But in this chapter, we are going to
Yes.
discuss in context to the force. As you could see, the very first topic that we have in this chapter is in context with the types of forces that exist, and most of them you are already familiar with. Do I need to explain what weight, upthrust, air resistance, and friction is?
only weight upthrust.
You know about weight and upthrust only.
No, I know everything else except upthrust.
Thrust is, it's basically the force that acts in the opposite direction of weight by water.
Oh, okay.
Air resistance is the force that acts in the opposite. Basically, friction की ये दो types हैं air resistance. No, sorry, upthrust is not a friction. I'm sorry, we don't call it a friction. It's a force that acts in the opposite direction of weight. But air resistance, friction, and drag force, they are termed as the types of frictions. Friction को हम normally define करते हैं type of force that acts in the opposite direction of force. हमारे motion के opposite direction में जो भी force लग रहा होगा, that would be known as friction. Friction could be of two types, by air or by water. If it's by air, we would call it air resistance, and if it's by water, we call it drag force. And we can use it interchangeably as well. It's not compulsion that for air resistance, for the resistance or friction offered by air, we must use the term air resistance. We can also go for drag force, but we don't refer to it. बल्कि लिखा भी हुआ है यहाँ पे air resistance or drag force. ठीक है?
Yeah.
Upthrust and weight का relationship ये होता है कि if they both are equal, object would float. If the weight is bigger, is greater, तो the object would sink.
Think.
ठीक है? And weight
Yes.
हमारे पास क्या होता है? All of them are force, तो इन सबके units भी क्या होंगे? They all will have the same unit,
Newton.
which is newtons.
Newton.
Force था क्या? You must have studied in the sciences and the previous physics class. It's a push or pull on an object.
Yes.
ठीक है? फिर resultant forces भी आप लोगों ने पढ़ी हुई है, balanced and unbalanced forces. What are balanced and unbalanced forces, Mariam? How do we differentiate between a balanced and unbalanced force? Mariam? Ahmad?
Oh, wait, my mic is muted. Okay, it's when I think that has the same weight. It
Ahmad?
has like the same force from
but-
both sides, so
but-
it gets like canceled out and it's equal.
Yes. Ahmad?
Balance forces are when they have equal magnitude but different directions or opposite direction.
Yes.
And unbalanced are when the magnitude is different, like not equal.
and they're acting in the opposite direction or
Yeah.
in the
The
same
balanced force
direction
is
as
equal
well.
magnitude, unbalanced is not.
Yes. And this is the one that हम लोगों ने centripetal force वाला portion discuss किया था. Whenever an object is moving in a circular path, the resultant force would always act in the towards the center of that path and the acceleration as well. So if the resultant force is acting in the forward direction of motion, then the object would accelerate. And if the resultant force is acting in the opposite direction of force, then the object would decelerate. It would not
Decelerate.
stop. Please stop using this term. Most of my students say that okay, when the resultant force is acting in the opposite direction, object would stop. It would not stop. It would only
Slow down.
decelerate.
Decelerate.
So we are clear about balanced and unbalanced forces.
Yes.
Do you guys recall what do we mean by contact and non-contact forces?
No.
Mariam, what is the difference between a contact and non-contact force?
Like magnetism and like in the background.
Contact force is a force that is applied by object in contact with each other.
He remembers each and every definition. How come, Ayan?
I have notes. I am
Okay, you're looking from there, and I'm just getting impressed here कि बच्चे को सब कुछ याद है. Wow. मैं कहूँ इतना perfect इतनी perfect definition कोई बच्चा I've only seen a few students. They were those students were super geniuses, but still उनका कुछ vocabulary अपना होता था. But जितना perfect definition ये दे रहा था, thank you कि बता दिया कि notes are open in front of you. वरना तो मेरा super favorite student अयान ने हो जाना था. But anyhow, at least he is putting some effort into it. So contact forces ये होती है कि when to act these to be acting on each other, the two bodies must be in contact with each other. And non-contact forces, as the name indicate, the two forces, the bodies does not have to be in contact with each other. Weight हो गया, magnetism हो गया, electric force हो गया. These are the examples of non-contact forces. Whereas
Or
this
no
upthrust
physical
हो गया,
contact is required.
हाँ upthrust हो गया, normal force हो गया, friction हो गया. For all of these forces to exist, the bodies must be in contact with each other. So these are non-contact forces. ये कुछ sections थे जो हम लोगों ने previous class में पढ़े थे कि when the object is going up, the velocity decreases, and upon reaching the maximum height, it becomes 0, and so does the acceleration of the object. While going down, it increases and the acceleration is positive. And if we were discussing the free fall motion, the acceleration due to gravity would be plus 9.8 and minus 9.8. Okay.
Yes.
It would remain constant in free fall, but would change if there is air resistance present. And we have discussed that as well, that whenever an object is moving in a circular path, the resultant force would always act in towards the center of that path.
Okay.
And why an object have acceleration and resultant force in a circular path? Velocity is not changing, but still it has acceleration. And the reason behind that is because it's changing direction on each point. Then there are few equations of motion that I want you to write it down and memorize it. And these are Vf is equals to Vi plus At. These two equations you have studied already. These two equations you need to memorize. This is not something that is a part of your syllabus, but when we'll enter into the exam phase, you'll get to see in the marking scheme, normally they have used these equations into the
I
question.
have already.
Okay?
Sir, what is AT?
I already memorized this.
Why does Ayan have everything?
Sir, what is AT?
Boys, why don't
I have
you
already
guys have all these things? It's acceleration and T is time.
Okay.
This is the initial velocity. This is the final velocity. This is the displacement. This is the velocity again, time, acceleration, displacement, final velocity, initial velocity, displacement, initial velocity, time, acceleration, T, and this is set 2. This is 2, a numeric number. And this is 1, another numeric number. Do we move to the next part? Do we recall what is meant by terminal velocity? Physics में आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा. In your grade 7, I guess. Mariam, what is terminal velocity? Ayan, yes, please.
Oops, wait, it's when like an object is going through a liquid or
Air,
fluid. Can you
fluid, yeah.
Terminal
Go
velocity
on.
is the highest.
Is it the maximum speed while going through a fluid?
Yes.
Maximum
When
speed attainable.
when the weight of the object becomes equals to the friction, then the resultant force becomes 0. And at that point, the object moves with maximum constant speed known as terminal velocity. You
Terminal.
must memorize the graph of it as well. Normally parachute की बात होती है कि when an object is velocity increases and there comes a point when it becomes equals to air resistance and the parachute opens, it gets another terminal velocity and becomes to this is the point when the parachute opens and we get a sudden upthrust. Upthrust नहीं बोलेंगे, up motion हमारे पास आएगा cause suddenly air resistance become greater. Are we clear about terminal velocity?
Yes.
Are we
Yes.
clear about the resultant forces?
Yes.
When to add and when to subtract and when to see के accelerate कर रहा है and when to see decelerate कर रहा है.
Yeah.
When would the object accelerating?
When the force is more than the resultant force. Like the
No.
friction or when the
Mariam,
force
when would be the object accelerating?
what do you mean?
If a number of forces are acting on the object,
If there is a change in velocity.
no. An object would be accelerating if the forward force is greater than the backward force. An object would be decelerating when the backward force is greater than the forward
Forward.
force. And resultant force would always act in a direction where the force is greater. So if the force is greater in this direction, the resultant force would also act in this direction. If the resultant force is greater, as in the यहाँ पे resultant force वैसे ही 0 हो जाएगा ना, because equal magnitude opposite direction.
so it will
Resultant force
stop.
का direction अब for example इसमें resultant force का आंसर क्या होगा 20 and it would act in this direction cause यहाँ पे bigger force act करी है, यहाँ पे resultant force 0 हो जाएगा because 70
sir,
and 30 would add up and it's in the opposite direction, so 100 minus 100 would be a resultant force 0. In this
So it
they
will
are acting
stop?
in the sorry,
So will the object be stopped or like at
there are
rest?
two options. There are always two options. Either the object would stop or would move with a constant speed. So if there's a continuous engine force, then हम कभी भी stop का word use नहीं करेंगे. For example, if the car is the engine is working, the engine is on, so we would always go for the constant speed. We would not say it would come to rest.
Okay.
हमें इसको देखना पड़ेगा कि क्या सिचुएशन बननी है. Like you could see right in front of you, उन्होंने two options दिया है. If no resultant force is acting on the object, it will not accelerate, will remain at rest, or it will continue to move at a constant speed in a straight line. Or if an
Okay.
object is at rest or is moving at constant speed, we can say that there is no resultant force. We have to look into the situation and see whether we can use the word rest or we can go for the constant speed.
Okay.
Do we know the difference between mass and weight?
Yes, mass is the particles
Amount
that
of substance, amount of matter in a substance is mass. It is measured in kilograms. Weight is the force with which the earth is attracting the body towards its center. It's unit is Newton. Mass remains
Newton.
same everywhere. Weight varies according to the position. Mass को measure करते हैं physical balance से, and weight is measured using a Newton meter or force meter or spring balance. Physical balance न्यूटन मीटर से भी हो सकता है, फोर्स मीटर से भी हो सकता है. What was the last thing? Spring meter.
Spring balance.
Spring balance. So weight का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? W equals to mg. And force का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? ma. And weight का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? mg. When would be force and weight be equal? When force and weight would be equal?
When A is equal to G.
Obviously, but when? Ahmed,
Teacher, again, I don't understand.
I'm asking
What are you asking?
when the force would be equals to weight. When can we write the F is equals to W?
Okay.
Anyone?
When
So, how do we define momentum? Momentum, property of a body due to its motion. So, if there is no motion, would there be a momentum?
No.
So, momentum is given as product of mass and velocity. If any of it is zero, momentum would be zero. Momentum would be a unit. इसका वो unit क्या बनेगा? What would be the unit of momentum? Mass का unit क्या होता है? Kilograms. Velocity का क्या होता है? Meters per second. तो उसका unit क्या बन जाएगा? Kilograms meter per second. Momentum as a vector quantity is the product of mass and velocity. ठीक है? Before getting into that, if you remember, we discussed Newton's laws of motion, first, second, and third law. Newton's first law क्या था हमारे पास? What was Newton's first law? A body
Yeah, will remain at rest
will continue its state of rest or uniform motion
until it is
unless an external force is applied on it.
applied.
So a body at rest will be at rest. A body which is moving would continue moving until an external force is applied on it. Newton's first law is also known as law of inertia. And what is inertia? It is a property of a body due to which it resists any change in its state of rest or uniform motion. It is a property of body due to which it resists any change in its state. इसकी best example ये I guess मैंने आप लोगों को in the previous lesson I also gave you the example. When you suddenly apply brakes, when you're sitting in a car front seat, what do you experience?
Deceleration.
No, to yourself. What do you experience to yourself? Do you get pushed forward?
Yes.
Okay. Why is that? Because our body thinks that we're moving in a linear motion in the forward direction. So when a sudden brakes are applied, our body would resist that change and will try to continue in the forward direction. This is inertia. Okay? Inertia is a property of a body due to which it resists any change in state of rest or uniform motion. That depends on the mass of the body. Greater the mass of the body, greater would be the inertia. Lesser the mass of the body, lesser would be inertia. Similarly, it would be easy to stop a football versus a bowling ball. ठीक है? Why is that? Because football का mass जो है वो less होता है as compared to bowling ball जो होती है हमारे पास, जो आप लोग normally arcades में जाके खेलते हैं. Are we clear about law of inertia? Why it's called Newton's first law? Because Newton's first law exactly defines the same thing which is given in law of inertia or
Thank you.
inertia itself. Are we clear?
Yes.
Can we go to the next part?
Yes.
Now, force and acceleration and mass, that constitutes for Newton's second law. I explained this law because it's not a part of syllabus of our syllabus straight away, but in a way, we need to have the understanding of it. Okay? Newton's second law states that when a force is applied, acceleration is produced, which is directly proportional to force applied and inversely proportional to mass of the body. So, क्या definition explain कर रही है कि when a force is applied, acceleration would be produced, which is directly proportional to force and inversely proportional to mass. तो equation कैसे लिखेंगे? Acceleration is directly proportional to force and inversely proportional to mass. When we combine these, acceleration would be equals to F over m, and we remove the proportions and we get a constant. And from there, F would be equals to m a. This is Newton's second law. And Newton's third law तो सबको आता ही है. What is Newton's third law? For every action, there is an equal and
Reaction.
opposite reaction. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Reaction.
Action and reaction never occurs on the same body. They always occur on two different bodies must be involved for Newton's third law. Clear?
Yes.
अब momentum हमने already discuss कर लिया था. It is a property of a body due to its motion. Momentum is given as. अब हमने discuss करना है what is the relationship between momentum and Newton's second law. For that, I want you to recall the formula for acceleration. What is the formula for acceleration?
Vf minus Vi upon time.
Very good.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
We know the formula for Newton's second law as well.
Mass times
We
acceleration.
know the formula for momentum as well. Are you clear about all these formulas?
Yes.
What if I put this over here? So F would be equals to M into V minus U over T. Right?
Wait.
I just put the value of A into Newton's second law, which was V minus U over T.
Okay. Okay.
So-
Okay. Okay.
It would become MV minus MU over T,
Yes.
and product of mass and velocity is given as momentum. So this would be written as final momentum and this would be as initial momentum. Because U किसको indicate कर रहा होता है? Initial velocity को. And V किसको show कर रहा होता है?
Final
Final
velocity.
velocity. So change of velocity को हम किस symbol से denote करते हैं? Sorry, change को किससे show करते हैं? Delta से. So can I write the
Delta.
above equation as F is equal to delta P over T?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we clear up till here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what if I cross multiply it and write it like this? Do we have any issue? It's just a rearrangement of the equation. This product of
Yes.
force and time is known as impulse, and this is known as change of momentum. Product of force and time is known as impulse, and
Impulse.
this F which is equals to change of momentum is known as average force.
Average.
You need to keep all these terminologies in your mind. Impulse is also defined as a force that acts for a very short interval of time. A force that acts for a very short interval of time. For example, I'm not very good at drawing. When the ball touches the bat, ठीक है, उस moment पे जो force act करेगी, that would be impulse. So capital I से denote करते हैं. If you're playing a badminton, तो badminton when the racket touches the shuttle, उस moment पे जो force लगेगी, that is impulse.
Impulse.
We have two bodies like this. The mass of this body is m1, this is m2. It's moving with the velocity of v1, it's moving with the velocity of v2 in the
Okay.
same direction. Okay. After some time, let's say m1 is equals to m2 and v is slightly bigger than v, just to happen the collisions. Okay.
Okay.
What would be the momentum of first ball? It would be m1 v1.
M1,
And what would be the
V1,
momentum of second ball?
M2,
m2 v2. The sum of momentum of both the balls before collision, ये हो गया, ठीक है?
Okay.
Is equals to the sum of momentum after collision. Let's say after collision, they keep on moving in the same direction. The mass would remain the same, obviously. The velocity might have changed. We do not know to what factor, but just to separate it from the initial one, after collision velocities are represented by the dash sign. Okay. So what will the momentum of the first ball after collision?
M1.
m1 v1 dash, and it would be m2 v2 dash.
V2 dash.
So according to law of conservation of momentum, states that the momentum of bodies before collision is equals to momentum of bodies after collision. So how can we write out the equation? We'll write
M1, V1 plus
m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is
equals to
m1 v1
M1
dash
V1.
plus m2 v2 dash. अब इसमें certain scenarios आ जाते हैं where we need to discuss two very important things to validate the law of conservation of momentum. First of all, we need to see कि first and foremost important thing is कि system should be isolated.
System.
Should be isolated. System होता है anything that is under observation.
Okay.
And isolated का meaning ये होता है कि no external forces are
Apply.
acting on the system. Only the bodies which are involved is reacting with each other, nothing else. Okay?
Okay.
And at this level, we consider the collisions to be elastic. What is the meaning of elastic collision? Elastic collision means the kinetic energy remains conserved. Okay? Are you familiar with the meaning of kinetic energy?
Oh, yes.
Are we
Sir,
clear
what
about this? Are we
yeah,
clear
what
about this equation?
kinetic energy remains conserved? What does that mean?
Doesn't change. Velocity doesn't
Okay.
change before and after collision, or the product does not change. Because हमने ये
Okay.
बोला ना कि अगर if before collision it was 2 and it was 3, so total momentum क्या बन गया? 5.
5.
After most momentum, we should get 5 on the other side as well.
Okay.
This is law of
So
conservation.
for, so for example, they can give you V1 dash and then you have to work out V2 dash.
Yes. There would be multiple questions in which they would give you different scenarios where you need to work out the other velocities.
Okay.
So what's for dash? What is dash?
Velocities after
Yes.
collision, better. Velocity of first ball after collision and velocity of second ball after collision. Before they are just V2 and V1. Just to distinguish the velocities after collision, we put a dash sign on it. Since we do not know the values of it. I said there is another equation, and that is what if the bodies stick together after collision? So equation would change
Yeah,
it
like-
like this. Now they would have the same velocity. Since they are stick together, the equation would become like this. M1 plus M2 into V.
Sir, what if they stop after collision?
तो जीरो हो जाए.
Okay.
आप velocity मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो जीरो हो जाएगा the whole factor. For example, we're talking about gun and a bullet. Before firing उनका initial momentum क्या होगा? What would be the initial momentum?
M1 V1.
Capital M and capital V for gun ले लेते हैं, small m and small v for bullet ले लेते हैं. तो अभी
Okay.
bullet fire नहीं हुआ, तो दोनों की momentum क्या होंगे? Zero?
0.
Because उनमें कोई motion ही नहीं है. हमने कहा if it is the property of a body due to motion, अगर motion नहीं है तो momentum भी नहीं होगा.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
After collision, let's say it's mv dash with the negative sign plus mv. अब मैंने negative sign क्यों ऐड किया है गन के साथ? Because we know कि जब भी हम
Because
bullet fire करते हैं गन recoil करती है.
Yeah.
ठीक है? वो backward push होती है ना, bullet front forward जाता है, gun back fire करती है.
Yes.
ठीक है? So
So they
whenever there is a
cancel out.
change in direction तो हम उसमें negative sign ऐड कर दें. ठीक हो गया? So the equation अब यहाँ पे 0 है, ये तो वो 0 plus mv हो जाएगा, तो क्या हो जाएगा? mv dash और ये क्या आ गया? mv. So bullet का momentum and gun का momentum क्या हो जाएगा? Equal. Okay?
Yes.
माइनस का साइन कब जब ऐड करते हैं that indicates के मोशन में कुछ क्या आया है? चेंज आया है. Opposite direction में क्या है? Are we clear about these examples?
Yes.
Let's see from the book. Impulse उसने आपको बताया हुआ है, it's the product of force and T, which is equals to change of momentum. Change of V indicates final velocity, U indicates initial velocity. Delta indicates change. So F cross T, which is impulse, is equals to change of momentum. अब फॉर एग्जाम्पल इस टाइम में इनका मोमेंटम क्या होगा? 0। आफ्टर हिटिंग द बॉल इनका कोई ना कोई मोमेंटम होगा। एक्शन एंड रिएक्शन होता है ना हमारे पास।
Yes.
So conservation of momentum की equation they might have given. No, they have not given, but मैंने आपको लिख दी है सारी equation. Are we clear about momentum and everything?
Yes.
But what we need to know about vectors so far, and हम लोगों ने उसके अंदर करना क्या है? हम लोगों ने अभी तक vectors को जो study किया था, we know that vectors क्या होता है हमारे पास? There are two types of physical quantities. Further on, physical quantity is further divided into two parts, which is vector and scalar.
Scalar.
Vectors are the ones which have both magnitude and direction. And in this class, only you guys will answer when I ask a question. No one will answer on its own. It would have magnitude only. Magnitude क्या होता है? By magnitude we mean amount of substance. Direction is direction. We do not need to further discuss that in details. जो vectors होते हैं, we can simply apply the basic arithmetic rules to that. Okay? Basic arithmetic rules इस पे apply हो सकते हैं. What do we mean by arithmetic rules? मतलब if we have two quantities हम उसको simply add कर देंगे, subtract कर देंगे, multiply कर देंगे, divide कर देंगे. जो भी मैथ्स के सिंपल रूल्स होते हैं जो हमने पढ़े हुए हैं, ब्रेड मास एवरीथिंग, वो बेसिक रूल्स सब स्केलर्स पे अप्लाई हो सकते हैं. But when it comes to vector, we need to take care. First of all, addition of vectors को हम लोग डिस्कस करते हैं. Addition of vector. Addition of vector is done according to a rule which is known as head to tail rule. Head to tail rule. This rule tells us that the head of first vector coincides with the tail of second vector. ठीक है, ये मेरे पास एक वेक्टर आ गया, ये उसका हेड है, ये उसका क्या है? टेल. आप डेफिनेशन में क्या बता रही है? द हेड ऑफ फर्स्ट वेक्टर coincides with the tail of second vector. This is the tail of second vector. It is coinciding with the head of first vector. यहाँ तक क्लियर है हम लोग?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Then a resultant is drawn in such a way. फिर हम एक लाइन खुद ड्रॉ करेंगे in such a way that it heads coincide with the head and tail coincides with the tail. So head, let me redraw it. Head, मैं इसको थोड़ा सा मोटा कर लेता हूँ. So, head of first vector coincides with the tail of second vector. Then a resultant is drawn in such a way that its head coincides with the head and tail coincides with the tail. Resultant को identify भी इस तरीके से करेंगे. A resultant is identified if its tail is coinciding with the tail and head is coinciding with the head. Suppose we have two vectors like this. अब मैंने इनको ऐड करना. हमने अभी तक क्या स्टडी किया है? They can only be added if Muneeb, they can only be added if
Yes.
they can only be added if क्या उसका हेड टेल से coincide कर रहा है in this particular condition.
No.
ठीक है?
No.
So whenever we see a condition like this, we only need to redraw the vector. Let's say this is vector A, this is vector B. If I redraw the vector parallel to this one, it would have the exactly same properties as of this one. Similarly, I could redraw the vector B like this. So this would also be B. अब head to tail rule achieve हो गया? Do we see the head and tail
Yes.
coinciding with each other? अब resultant vector कैसे draw होगा?
Yes.
Resultant is drawn in such a way, its line आ
Head
गई
is
ये.
with the head and
Sorry, I need to do this one. Let me. अब मैंने ये draw कर दिया एक line in such a way that now its heads coinciding with the head and tail coinciding with the tail. अब आप देखो, अगर मैं इस वेक्टर के सामने वेक्टर ड्रॉ कर रहा हूं तो भी रिजल्टेंट यही ड्रॉ होगा. इफ आई एम ड्रॉइंग इस वेक्टर के सामने वेक्टर ड्रॉ कर रहा हूं तो भी रिजल्टेंट सेम ही ड्रॉ होगा. उससे हमारे रिजल्ट्स पे कोई भी इफेक्ट नहीं आएगा. तो अगर इफ देयर इज एनी क्वेश्चन लाइक दिस कि व्हाट इफ आई ड्रॉ अ वेक्टर in front of this. For example, there are two vectors like this. They are drawn like this. अब मैं क्या करूंगा इसको? What option do I have अगर मुझे इनको ऐड करना है? Without a question, मैं एक पैरेलल वेक्टर ड्रॉ कर दूंगा इसके सामने. अब मुझे इस वेक्टर को जो मैंने रीड्रॉ किया है उसको मुझे आई हैव टू मेक श्योर इफ द लेंथ ऑफ दिस वेक्टर इज 2 सेंटीमीटर, इसकी भी कितनी होगी? 2 सेंटीमीटर. एंड इसकी डायरेक्शन एग्जैक्टली वही होनी चाहिए जो उसकी है. अब हेड टू टेल रूल अचीव हो गया हमें यहाँ पे.
yes.
Yes.
और रिजल्टेंट कैसे ड्रॉ करेंगे? हम एक लाइन ड्रॉ करेंगे such
The
that
head is the one,
coincides
the
with the
tail
head
is with the
and tail coincides with the tail. Do we understand the basic mathematics of vectors?
yes.
Okay. ये तो था ग्राफिकल मेथड. इसके अंदर हमें एक और पॉइंट को अंडरस्टैंड करना है एंड दैट पॉइंट इज के स्केल कैसे ड्रॉ करते हैं. स्केल का मीनिंग ये होता है कि व्हाट इफ आई हैव टू फोर्सेस, वन ऑफ 1350 न्यूटन and one is 2500 Newton. Now I have to draw a scale for this. So I have to come up with a number. When I divide that number with this one, it would give me an answer less than 10. मैंने क्या नंबर सोचना है? I have to come up with a number कि when I'll divide these two with that number, my answer should come less than 7 centimeter or 10 centimeter. Can you think of any number when I'll divide these two with that, it would give me an answer less than 10 centimeter?
$250.
If 1350 divided by 250 is giving me 5.4. Okay. So 1350 divided by 250 is equals to 5.4 and 2500 divided by 250 is 10.
So that's
But
1350 and 150.
10 is still a bigger number.
Nine.
ठीक है. So let's say we go for 300. ठीक है. हम 300 को यूज करके देखते हैं. बस 10 सेंटीमीटर की लाइन ड्रॉ करना पेज के ऊपर डिफिकल्ट तो नहीं होता, बट हमारे स्केल प्रॉपर्ली नहीं ड्रॉ होता. सो व्हेन आई डिवाइड 1350 विद 300 आई विल गेट 4.5
yes.
and I divide
8.3.
2500 with 300 I'll get 8.3. let's say 8
Okay.
सेंटीमीटर कर देते हैं हम उसको. ठीक है. अब हमें नॉर्थ साउथ ईस्ट वेस्ट का तो पता है ना? Are you familiar with north south east west?
Yes.
नॉर्थ, साउथ, ईस्ट एंड वेस्ट। अब उसने हमेशा हमेशा हम लोग को स्केलिंग दी हुई होगी। अब ये जो हमने किया, अब हम इसको कैसे लिखेंगे? 300 न्यूटन इज इक्वल्स टू 1 सेंटीमीटर, 1350 न्यूटन इज इक्वल्स टू 4.5 सेंटीमीटर, and 2500 Newton is equals to how much centimeter? 8.3 सेंटीमीटर। ओके, अब मैं 4.5 सेंटीमीटर की लाइन एक ड्रॉ करूंगा, 8.3 की एक लाइन ड्रॉ करूंगा, एंड आई विल ड्रॉ द रिजल्ट, और मैं इसकी लेंथ को मेजर करूंगा। सपोज इट कम आउट टू बी 9.7 सेंटीमीटर। ठीक है,
Sir,
अब मैं इसको
the
आगे,
direction is given, right?
सॉरी, हाँ वो गिवन होगी, अभी तो बेसिक बता रहा हूँ ना, वो तो क्वेश्चन में गिवन होगा कि
Okay.
हमें किस तरीके से उनको करना है। मैंने आपको बताया कि अगर वो हेड टू टेल नहीं हो रहा होगा, हमने सिर्फ एक काम करना है, और वो क्या है कि हमने पैरेलल वेक्टर ड्रॉ कर देना। ठीक है,
Okay.
वेक्टर के सामने वेक्टर ड्रॉ कर देना। वेक्टर के सामने वेक्टर ड्रॉ करने का मतलब क्या है? इफ दिस इज माय वेक्टर,
It
तो उसके
will
सामने
still
वेक्टर
remain
कैसे
the
ड्रॉ
same.
होगा? ऐसे, इट वुड एग्जैक्टली बी ऑफ 8.3 सेंटीमीटर। और अगर मुझे इसके सामने ड्रॉ करना है तो कैसे ड्रॉ होगा? इस तरीके से।
Upper, yeah.
कुछ भी है, कोई भी डायरेक्शन है, अगर वो हेड टू टेल रूल नहीं हो रहा, ऑल वी नीड टू डू इज टू ड्रॉ अ पैरेलल वेक्टर
Change
इन
the,
फ्रंट ऑफ
yeah.
इट, हेड टू टेल हो जाएगा, और फिर हमें सिर्फ
Okay.
रिजल्टेंट ड्रॉ करना। ठीक है, अब रिजल्टेंट की डिस्टेंस हमारे पास कितना निकला? 9.7। इसको हमने किससे अगेन मल्टीप्लाई करना है? जो हमने स्केल चूज किया था। स्केल क्या चूज किया था? 300। So 9.7 into 300 is giving us 29.
2910.
This is my resultant का magnitude। ठीक है, अब
सर
ये सब
आपने
हमने
9.7 सपोज किया है ना?
हाँ, ये सब मैं भी यही बात करने वाला था कि कोई बच्चा ये मिस्टेक ना कर ले कि ये कहाँ से आई। ये सब हमने हाइपोथेटिकल वैल्यूज लिए हैं। वन थिंग दैट यू नीड टू कीप इन योर माइंड इज कि मैक्सिमम आंसर उसका हमारे पास आ सकता है इन दोनों को ऐड करके, और मिनिमम आंसर क्या आ सकता है? उन दोनों को सब्ट्रैक्ट। एनी वैल्यू इन बिटवीन मैक्सिमम एंड मिनिमम एग्जिस्ट कर सकती है। अगर मैक्सिमम से ज्यादा की वैल्यू आ रही है तो भी रॉन्ग है, मिनिमम से कम की वैल्यू आ रही है तो भी हमारा आंसर क्या होगा? रॉन्ग। ऑब्वियसली हमारे सामने दोनों वेक्टर्स बने हुए हैं। 1300 प्लस 2500 का आंसर क्या होता है? 3800।
Yes.
ठीक है, एंड 2500 माइनस 1350 का क्या होता है?
12.
1150।
Uh,
तो यानी हमारा आंसर इस रेंज के बिटवीन किसी में भी आ सकता
okay.
है। आर वी क्लियर अबाउट एवरीथिंग? डू वी हैव एनी क्वेश्चन?
No, sir.
Yes, sir, or understand everything? Can I go to the next level?
Yes.
Zainab, all clear बेटे?
Yes, sir. Yes.
अच्छा जी, अब तो ये था सारा ग्राफिकल मेथड। अब हमने जाना है एक्चुअल डिफिकल्ट लेवल पे, जहां पे हम लोगों ने उसको अंडरस्टैंड करना है टू द कोर ऑफ एवरीथिंग। अब इफ आई से, मेरे पास कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम आप लोगों ने पढ़ा हुआ है ना मैथ्स के अंदर। इफ आई से आई हैव अ पॉइंट, आई हैव अ कोऑर्डिनेट 2 and 3, व्हाट डज दैट
Yes.
मीन हसन?
X is 2 and 3 is Y is 3.
ठीक है, how many how many points do I have to move in x direction?
2
2
to the
in
right.
x,
Yeah.
ठीक है, 2 to the right and 3 to up।
Up.
मेरे पास ये पॉइंट बन जाएगा,
Yes.
और मैं वेक्टर ड्रॉ कर दूंगा। दिस शोज दैट कि दिस वेक्टर is the sum of its horizontal and vertical
And
components.
vertical.
So these components which are along the x-axis are known as the horizontal components, and the ones which is in the y direction are known as the vertical components.
Vert-
Every vector is made up of its x and y component known as rectangular काम,
So
ठीक
can
है?
you
Why do
continue?
we call them rectangular components? Because they are always at 90 degrees to each other. Because coordinate system हमारे पास क्या होता है? Rectangular coordinate system. So these are known as rectangular components of a vector. ठीक है? जो x component
Yeah.
होता है उसके साथ हम हमेशा cos of theta ऐड करते हैं। जो y component होता है उसके साथ हम हमेशा sin of theta यूज करते हैं। अब ये cos and sin क्या होता है? For that, let me take you to the very basic diagram of vector जो हमने पढ़ा था। ये मेरे पास A है, ये मेरे पास क्या है? B। x के अलॉन्ग जो होगा उसके साथ हमेशा कौन सा एंगल आएगा? cos of theta। y के अलॉन्ग जो होगा उसके साथ हमेशा क्या आएगा? sin of theta। Can we keep this in mind?
Yes.
और रिजल्टेंट है मेरे पास ये। अब
So
आइडेंटिफाई
can you
कैसे करना है? अब आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करना है कि विच वन इज अ x कंपोनेंट एंड विच वन इज अ y कंपोनेंट? फॉर दैट यू नीड टू सी के वेक्टर ये है ना मेरे पास, ठीक है? उसका x कंपोनेंट ये है और y कंपोनेंट ये है। मैंने क्यों कहा कि ये x कंपोनेंट एंड y कंपोनेंट है? आई हैव टू सी
Because the head and the
कि वेक्टर के साथ जो थीटा एंगल बना रहा होगा वो हमेशा कौन सा कंपोनेंट होगा? x का। और जो 90 का एंगल बना रहा होगा वो हमेशा कौन सा कंपोनेंट होगा? y। ठीक है?
So what
सपोज
is theta?
सपोज थीटा इज द एंगल। आपको एंगल्स नहीं पता क्या होते हैं? 90 डिग्रीज, 270, 360 एंगल्स भी नहीं आपने पढ़े हुए।
Theta, I don't know what theta means.
You guys have no ideas about angles?
We do, but not cos and sine and
अब cos and sin skip that। मैंने आपको बिल्कुल स्टार्ट में बोला है cos and sin and explain you later। You said कि what is theta? मुझे वो that was something for me कि you don't know कि एंगल को थीटा से इंडिकेट करता है।
okay, okay.
आप suppose I have a vector drawn like this, ठीक है? तो उसका हेड टू टेल रूल के अकॉर्डिंगली ये बन जाएगा, ठीक है? लाइन थोड़ी सी टेढ़ी हो गई, मैं इसको सीधा कर देता हूँ। ये बन गया, ये मेरे पास रिजल्टेंट आ गया। अब मुझे बताओ इसमें से x कौन सा होगा और y कौन सा होगा? विच वन इज x एंड विच वन इज y? अभी मैंने आपको क्या
X
बताया था
is
कि वेक्टर के साथ जो
X,
थीटा एंगल बना रहा होगा दैट वुड बी
that
cos,
one's X.
और जो 90 का एंगल बना रहा होगा दैट वुड बी। अब वेक्टर कौन सा है मेरे पास? दिस वन इज अ वेक्टर ना, दिस इज द
Yes, the
वेक्टर।
pin.
उसको मैंने
Yeah, the
उसके ये ड्रॉ किए मैंने खुद से। सो वेक्टर के साथ थीटा एंगल कौन बना रहा है? दिस वन,
the pin. Yes,
दिस वन। लेट मी यूज द डार्कर
yes,
कलर, ठीक है? सो दिस वुड बी r cos of theta and this would be r। हमने एक आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया तो ऑटोमेटिकली दूसरा क्या बन जाएगा? ठीक है? इफ आई हैव
sine.
लोकेटेड द cos, अगर अब मैंने sin लोकेट कर लिया है तो नेक्स्ट अदर वन वुड बी cos। अगर मैंने cos लोकेट कर लिया तो sin। Do we understand how
Yes,
to find out कि which one is a cos and which one is a sin? Do we understand this part?
yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's understand what cos and what sin is. ठीक हो गया? There are three trigonometric angles which we need to keep in our mind, and those are cos, sine, and tan. Did you guys have studied Pythagoras theorem?
Yes.
Yes.
We know that this would be 90, ठीक है? ये 90 डिग्रीज है, इसके सामने वाला क्या होगा? हाइपोटेन्यूज होगा मेरे पास, ये मेरे पास क्या हो जाएगा,
Convergent.
बेस, और ये क्या हो जाएगा,
Yes.
परपेंडिकुलर।
So
आर यू फेमिलियर
it will be a square plus b square.
अभी उस पे आते हैं, अभी तो मैंने चल रहा है, प्लीज उस पे करते रहो, क्योंकि मुझे नहीं आइडिया कि आपको क्या आता है क्या नहीं आता। Do we understand the hypotenuse space and perpendicular thing?
Yes.
ठीक है। सो जो cos ऑफ थीटा होता है वो होता है परपेंडिकुलर हाइपोटेन्यूज, साइन ऑफ थीटा होता है बेस ओवर हाइपोटेन्यूज, और टेंजेंट होता है परपेंडिकुलर ओवर बेस। ठीक है।
Okay.
और पाइथागोरस थ्योरम हमें क्या बता रहा होता है, हाइपोटेन्यूज का स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टू बेस का
Base
स्क्वायर
square.
प्लस परपेंडिकुलर का स्क्वायर। सो इफ आई सी हियर, हाइपोटेन्यूज मेरे पास क्या बन रहा है, रिजल्टेंट, राइट।
Yes.
बेस हमारे पास क्या बन रही है, एक्स, और परपेंडिकुलर हमारे पास क्या बन रहा है, वाई। सो कैन आई राइट इट लाइक दिस,
Yes.
तो वी कैन से दैट कि जो एक्स कंपोनेंट होता है वो इक्वल्स होता है आर कॉज ऑफ थीटा के, जो y कंपोनेंट होता है दैट इज इक्वल्स टू r sin ऑफ थीटा के। एंड हाउ, लेट्स से दैट आई नो दिस इज x एंड दिस इज y। ओके, अब परपेंडिकुलर की वैल्यू क्या बन रही है हमारे पास,
Perpendicular
Y
over
square.
p tan p over b.
आई गेस मैंने उल्टा लिख दिया, ये साइन होता है ये कॉज होता है ना जनाब। अब ठीक है, साइन जो होता है वो परपेंडिकुलर पर हाइपोटेन्यूज होता है, कॉस जो है वो बेस ओवर हाइपोटेन्यूज होता है। मैं इसको सेट कर देता हूँ, लिख देता हूँ, इट्स करेक्ट ना। अच्छा, बेस की वैल्यू क्या बन रही है हमारे पास, आर एक्स, और हाइपोटेन्यूज की वैल्यू हमारे पास क्या बन रही थी, हमने यहाँ पे लिखा भी है आर। ठीक है। परपेंडिकुलर की वैल्यू क्या बन रही है हमारे पास, आर बाय, और हाइपोटेन्यूज अगेन क्या बन रहा है, आर। तो यहाँ से आर एक्स किसके इक्वल आ गया, आर कॉज ऑफ थीटा, और आर बाय किसके इक्वल आ गया, आर साइन ऑफ थीटा।
Sir, base is also known as adjacent, right?
यस यस। डू वी अंडरस्टैंड दिस इक्वेशन। और टेंजेंट ऑब्वियसली क्या हो जाएगा, टेंजेंट किसकी इक्वल है हमारे पास, परपेंडिकुलर क्या था हमारे पास, आर वाई, और बेस हमारे पास क्या था, आर एक्स। ओके। सो अगर हमें डायरेक्शन ऑफ वेक्टर फाइंड आउट करना है तो हम ये यूज करेंगे, और अगर हमें मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ वेक्टर फाइंड आउट करना है तो हम ये फॉर्मूला यूज करेंगे।